All right. So let's go into our lesson for today. As always, we'll start out with Colossians 3:17. And all praise and glory to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, forever and ever and ever. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach. So all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior Mashiach. And give thanks to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, for everything. He's worthy to be praised for everything. Hallelujah. So we're going to go into Genesis, the 23rd chapter today. Genesis 23. Genesis the 23rd chapter. And it reads, and Sarah, who was Abraham's wife, was 107 and 20 years old. 107 and 20 years old. 127 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. She lived 127 years. And Sarah died in Kirjath Zaba, the same as Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead with Sarah, his wife, and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. The children of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, hear us, my Lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat for me to Ephron, the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for possession of a burying place amongst you. He said, if you won't allow me to use, your land, and I'll bury her. In the place that Ephron have at the end of his land. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, nay, my power, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein, I give it thee. In the presence of the sons of my people, give I it thee. Bury thy dead, so I give it to you. You gotta buy anything, so I'm gonna give it to you. To bury Sarah. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land in humility. And he spake unto Ephron in the audience of the people of the land, saying, But if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. I want to purchase it. I will give you money for it. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, Abraham said, I'm going to give you some money for it. You're not just going to give it to me. Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, My master, hearken unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that between me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron. Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver, which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. In the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre the field, and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure unto Abraham for a possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for a possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. Genesis 24:1. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Most High, while Mashach had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had, Put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and I will make thee swear by the Most High, the power of heaven and the power of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. So don't take any of the daughters of the Canaanites, who will be so-called Africans, where he was dwelling. But thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. So he's told him to go to his kindred, his people, the Israelites. That would be the Israelites, eventually. And have Isaac take a daughter of his kindred to wife. And the servant said unto him, Peradventure, or perhaps, the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must thy needs bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest? So should I take Isaac to the land where you came from? And Abraham said unto him, Beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. So don't bring Isaac over here. Say, the Most High power of heaven, which took me from my father's house, and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, and that sware unto me, saying, Unto thy seed will I give this land. He shall send his angel before thee. See? Like I tell you all the time. Angel or a spirit. He shall send his angel, which is a spirit. He shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be clear from this my oath. Only bring not my son thither again. So don't bring him here again. If she don't want to follow you, you're going to be clear from the oath that he's making them promise that he's going to, allow Isaac not to come thither where he was at. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and swore to him concerning that matter. And the servant took 10 camels, or the camels of his master, and departed. For all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, unto the city of Nahor. And he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of the evening, even the time that women go out to draw water. So he said, he made his camels bow down, kneel down, and they're waiting for the women to come to draw water out of the well. And he said, O Most High Power of my master Abraham, Yahweh, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast shown kindness unto my master Abraham. So he's praying this order that he would like the Most High to fulfill for him. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, before he was finished speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, who was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, which with her pitcher upon her shoulder. Here come Rebekah, had her pitcher upon her shoulder. And the damsel was very fair to look upon. I mean, she was very beautiful, a virgin. Neither had any man known her. So if a virgin just meant that a woman that a man had never had sex with, why would it be written here? Because a virgin was a woman of marital age, whether she had sex or not. That's why it's saying here, a virgin, neither had any man known her. So you think a virgin is only pertaining to a woman that has not had sex with a man? No, virgin is, and during this time was a woman, and still is, a woman of marital age, whether she had sex or not. That's why it says, she was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well, and filled her pitcher, and came up. And the servant ran to meet her, and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, drink, my power. And she hasted, and let down her pitcher upon her hand, and gave him drink. Just as he asked the Most High in his prayer, he's fulfilling his prayer. But before he could end his prayer, the Most High already had Rebekah there. Because he already knows our minds and what we think and what we asking for. He already know before we even ask for it. Verse 19. And when she had done drinking him water, and when she had done drinking him drink, she said, I will draw water for thy camels also, until they have done drinking. Isn't that what he asked for? That's what he asked in his prayer. Look at verse 12. And he said, O Most High of my master Abraham, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abraham. It's not for himself, it's for Abraham. He's a servant of Abraham. He said, behold, I stand here by the well, verse 13, of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee that I may drink. And she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for thy servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast shown kindness, unto my master. And it came to pass before he had done speaking that, behold, Rebekah came out. See? And she's fulfilling just what he just asked the Most High to fulfill. In the name of the Lord Savior. So, verse 20. Verse 19, let's read it. And when she had done giving him drink, as he asked, she said, I will draw water for thy camels also, until they have done drinking. Just like he asked. And she hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trough, and ran again unto the well to draw water, and drew for all his camels. And the man, wondering at her, held his peace, to wit whether the Most High had made his journey prosperous or not. He held his peace, looking at her like, wow, this is just what I asked for. He didn't say nothing, just looking at her like, you the one. Looking at Rebekah, wondering, is she the one for Isaac? And it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of half a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold, and said, whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee, is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in? So he's asking, is there room in her father's house for them to lodge? And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, which she bare unto Nahor. She said moreover unto him, we have both straw and provender enough. Excuse me. She said moreover unto him, verse 25, we have both straw and provender enough, and room to lodge in. So we have enough to provide food for your camels, and we have room for you to lodge where we live at, in my father's house. And the man bowed down his head and worshiped the Most High. He bowed down his head and worshiped the Most High. Thank you. And he said, blessed be the Most High of my master Abraham, who have not left destitute my master of his mercy and of his truth. I being in the way, the Most High led me to the house of my master's brethren. Remember, Abraham wanted Isaac to marry someone of his kindred. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. Verse 29. Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man, unto the well. And it came to pass, when he saw the earring and bracelets upon his sister's hands, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well. So here a brother, Laban, was running to him. And he said, come in, thou blessed of the Most High, wherefore standest thou without? For I have prepared the house and room for the camels. I prepared the house and the room for the camels. And stay in. Verse 32. And the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and provender for the camels, and water to wash his feet, and the men's feet that were with him, showing hospitality. And there was set meat before him to eat. They even fed him. But he said, I will not eat until I have told mine Aaron, I'm not going to eat until I tell you why I came here. What I came here for. And he said, speak on. And he said, I am Abraham's servant. And the Most High hath blessed my master greatly, and he has become great. And he hath given him flocks, and herds, and silver, and gold, and men servants, and maid servants, and camels, and asses. And Sarah, my master's wife, bare a son to my master when she was old, and unto him hath he given all that he had. Speaking of Isaac. And my master made me swear, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell. But thou shalt go unto my father's house, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, Peradventure, perhaps, the woman will not follow me. And he said unto me, The Most High, before whom I walk, will send his angel with thee, and prosper thy way. And thou shalt take a wife for my son, of my kindred, and of my father's house. Then shalt thou be clear from this my oath, when thou comest to my kindred. And if they give not thee one, thou shalt be clear from my oath. So if they don't give you a woman for Isaac to marry, you will be clear of the oath that he was making them vow. And I came this day unto the well, and said, O Most High of my master Abraham, if now thou do prosper my way, which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water. And it shall come to pass, that when the virgin cometh forth to draw water, and I say to her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink. And she say to me, Both drink thou, and I will also draw for thy camels. Let the same be the woman whom the Most High hath appointed out for my master's son, Isaac. And before I had done speaking in mine heart, in my mind, speaking to the Most High, praying to the Most High, behold, Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder. And she went down unto the well and drew water. And I said unto her, Let me drink, I pray thee. And she made haste, and let down her pitcher from her shoulder, and said, Drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. So I drank, and she made the camels drink also. And I asked her, and said, Whose daughter art thou? And she said, The daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earring upon her face, and the bracelets upon her hands. And I bowed down my head, and worshipped the Most High, and blessed the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of my master Abraham, which had led me in the right way to take my master's brother's daughter unto his son. And now, if ye will deal kindly and truly with my master, tell me. And if not, tell me, that I may turn to the right hand or to the left, go this way or that way. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, The thing proceeded from the Most High. We cannot speak unto thee bad or good. Behold, Rebekah is before thee. Take her and go, and let her be thy master's son's wife, as the Most High has spoken. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshipped the Most High, bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also her to her brother and to her mother precious things. And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning, and he said, Send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, Let the damsel abide with us a few days, at the least 10. After that, she shall go. Let Rebecca stay with us 10 days. After that, you can take her. She can go. And he said unto them, hinder me not, saying that the Most High have prospered my way. Send me away, that I may go to my master. And they said, we will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. We're going to call Rebecca and see what she has to say. And they called Rebecca and said unto her, wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. She was ready. I will go. And they sent away Rebecca, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant, and his men. And they blessed Rebekah, and said unto her, thou art our sister. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions. Wow. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions. And let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. And Rebekah arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels, and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah, and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well, the Horiah, where he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. He went out into the field in the evening, lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. Took a veil and covered her face. Modesty. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother's, Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So Isaac took Rebekah into his mother's tent. And he was comforted after his mother's death. And Rebekah comforted Isaac. Remember, Sarah had just died, his mother. So Genesis 25:1. Then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bare him Zimran, and Zokshun, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shuah. And Jokshun begot Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Asherim and Letushim and Leuman. And the sons of Midian, Ephah and Epher and Hanach and Abidah and Eldaah. All these were the children of Keturah. These are the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac, not Ishmael, but to Isaac. Ishmael was his son also. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts. So Abraham had other women also besides Keturah. Listen. But unto the sons of the concubines, which are wives that wouldn't be as important as Keturah, which would be his main wife. The concubine was just like, they were considered wives also, but they were not as important as like the first wife, which means Pia or Tia in the Greek. When you read 1 Timothy, 3rd chapter. I mean, the first wife. That's why these other wives were called concubines. And unto sons of the concubines, and there would be others that would be called wives also. But these are concubines, as it's saying here, which Abraham had. Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac, his son, which he yet lived, eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived 180 years. 180 years. That's 175 years that Abraham lived. And Abraham gave up the ghost, and he died, and died in a good old age, an old man. 175 years, I guess so. And full of years, and was gathered to his people. And he was buried among his people. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, which is before Ramsey. But you see what he did in verse 5. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. And Ishmael would be, a son of the concubine Hagar, the Egyptian. So you see who buried him. So Ishmael was there to see that Abraham gave all that he had to Isaac. Verse 9, and his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, which is before Mamre, the field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. Both of them buried in that field. Verse 11, Sarah and Abraham, Abraham and Sarah. Verse 11, it came to pass after the death of Abraham that the Most High blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well Laharah. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Naphazoth, and Kedar, and Abiel, and Mimsam, and Mishma, and Dumah, and Massa, Adar, and Tema, Zatur, and Fish, and Kedemah. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their towns and by their castles. They were living lives. 12 princes, according to their nations. That's why Ishmael, who represent the Arabs today, they are living large. They have their own lands, one of the richest, nations in the world. Palaces, and to this day. The Most High said he's going to bless Ishmael. Verse 17, and these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. He lived 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. And they dwelt from the Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. It was all together. It was like they're all together now within Saudi Arabia and all that little area over there. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to continue that next week. 1 Kings, first chapter. First Kings, the first chapter. In verse 1. 1 Kings 1:1. Now King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. So King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with a lot of clothes, but he still was cold. They covered him up. He was old now. They covered him up, but he still was cold. They put all these clothes on him. You know, layered him up with clothes, and he still was cold. Wherefore his servants said unto him, Let there be sought for my Lord, and my power, my master, the king, a young virgin, and let her stand before the king, and let her cherish him, and let her lie in thy bosom, that my power, the king, may get heat. So let us get a virgin, and let her lie with you. This is all to keep him warm. You what it said? That my master, the king, may get heat from her body. It's body heat they're talking about. And you that's been in the winter, and you know that body heat will keep you warmed in the winter, and it's cold. So that's what they're saying. That's what I'm not gonna say nothing new under the sun. That's what they're saying. You know, let's get you a nice young virgin to lie with you. At least, you know, lay down beside him. And her body heat will keep him warm. Mind you, the curiosity is he already had a lot of women. He had a lot of women, so why didn't they just get one of his wives to lie with him? But this is what's going on. Verse 3. So they sought for a fair damsel throughout all the coast of Israel, and found Abishai, a Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And the damsel was very fair. She was beautiful. Very fair means she was beautiful. She was gorgeous, and cherished the king and ministered to him. But the king knew her not, meaning he didn't have sex with her. She was there for that purpose, just to keep him warm. Then Adonijah, the son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, I will be king. And he prepared him chariots and horsemen, and 50 men to run before him. Here was somebody ready to be king. King David ain't even dead yet. He's ready to take over. And his father had not displeased him at any time in his saying, Why hast thou done so? And he also was a very goodly man, and his mother bare him after Absalom. So it's like, hey, I'm ready to take over. My daddy's dying, I'm going to be the next king. And he came after David's son Absalom. And he conferred with Joab, the son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar the priest. And they followed Adonijah, helped him. Following Adonijah helped him. But Zadok the priest, and Benaiah, the son of Joiada, and Nathan the prophet, and Shemaiah, and Rem, and the mighty men which belonged to David, were not with Adonijah. And Adonijah slew sheep and oxen and fat cattle by the stone of Zeholah, which is by Israel, and called all his brethren the king's sons, and all the men of Judah the king's servants. But Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah, And the mighty men, and Solomon his brother, he called not. So he's calling all these other men of Judah, but he ain't called Nathan the prophet and Benaiah and the mighty men that belonged to David, that was under David, and Solomon his brother. He didn't call them. Wherefore Nathan spake unto Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, saying, Hast thou not heard that Adonijah, the son of Haggith, does reign, and David our power knoweth it not? King David don't know this? Went to Bathsheba. And she the one that was married to Uriah, who David saw and had intercourse with her, and got her pregnant, and sent Uriah out in the front line of the battle to get killed. And the Most High killed Bathsheba and King David's first son. And Solomon was the next son that came from King David and Bathsheba. What are we talking about here? Verse 12. Now therefore come, let me, I pray thee, give thee counsel, that thou mayest save thine own life, and the life of thy son Solomon. So let me give you counsel, save your life, and not King, but it was just Solomon at this time, her son. Go and get thee in unto King David, and say unto him, Dost not thou, my master, O king, swear unto thine handmaid, saying, Assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne? Why then does Adonijah reign? So he's giving a counsel what to say when she go before of King David. Behold, while thou yet takest there with the king, I also will come in after thee and confirm thy words. So once you say this to him, and I'm coming after you, say this to him and confirm what you're saying to King David. Two witnesses. Verse 15. And Bathsheba went in unto the king into the chamber, and the king was very old. And Abijah the Shunammite ministered unto the king. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance unto the king. And the king said, What wouldest thou? What can I do for you? And she said unto him, My master. Verse 17 of 1 Kings, the first chapter. Thou swearest by the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob unto thine handmaid, saying, Assuredly Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne, just as the counsel was. And now, behold, Adonijah reigneth. And now, my lord, my master, the king, thou knowest it not. So you don't know this. That Adonijah started his reign as king. King David not even deceased yet. And he hath slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and hath called all the sons of the king, and Abijah, Abathar, the priest, and Joab, the captain of the host, captain of the army. But Solomon thy servant hath he not called. Let him know just what he did. And thou, my master, O king, the eyes of all Israel are upon thee, that thou shouldest tell them who shall sit on the throne of my power, my master, the king after him. So you got to go in front of the people and tell them who it is that's going to be king after King David is deceased. Otherwise, it shall come to pass, in my power, the king shall sleep with his fathers when you die, that I and my son Solomon shall be counted offenders, in saying that King David ordained Solomon to be king after him. And lo, while she yet talked with the king, Nathan the prophet also came in. Remember, this is the plan, this was the counsel that was given. And they told the king, saying, Behold, Nathan the prophet. And when he was come in before the king, he bowed himself before the king, with his face to the ground. And Nathan said, my master, O king, hast thou said that Jonathan, at Adonijah shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne? For he is gone down this day, and have slain oxen and fat cattle and sheep in abundance, and have called all the king's sons and the captains of the host, and Abiathar the priest, and behold, they eat and drink before him, and say, Most High, save King Adonijah. They feasted, ordaining him to be the king. But me, even me thy servant, and Zodok the priest, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, and thy servant Solomon, hath he not called? So he didn't call us to this feast. Is this thing done by my master, the king? And thou hast not showed it unto thy servant? Who should sit on the throne of my power? The king after him. So have you decided that he should be king? And I didn't know it? You didn't tell me? Then King David answered and said, Call me Bathsheba. And she came into the king's presence and stood before the king. And the king swore and said, As the Most High liveth, that has redeemed my soul out of all distress, even as I swear unto thee by the Most High power of Israel, saying, Assuredly, Solomon thy son shall reign after me, and he shall sit upon my throne in my stead. Even so will I certainly do this day. Then Bathsheba bowed with her face to the earth and did reference to the king, and said, Let my power, my master King David, live forever. So, let's stop right there. With that, we're going to go to Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew, the 2nd chapter, in the 1st verse. So, Matthew, the 2nd chapter, we'll go through the whole chapter. Matthew 2 and 1. Matthew 2 and 1. And when Mashiach Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. So it don't say 3 wise men, it just say wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Wasn't no Edomite, no Asian, it wasn't no black man. It just say wise men came from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. Now, this isn't no star that we see out of the sky. This is a chariot that they sing in the sky. An ayah for identified fine object. When Herod the king, who was an Edomite, had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Mashiach should be born. So he called him to him, said, where is it that he should be born? And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Point blank. So let us know, that's all they had to go by was the prophets said that the Mashiach of Shai was going to come out. O thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Talking about the Mashiach of Shai. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared, what time his chariot appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. So he's telling them, hey, let me know when you find him, so I can come and worship him also. But remember what was said in verse 3 of Matthew the 2nd chapter. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. See? When he heard what? Verse 2, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. See? So it troubled him that a Mashiach Yahushua had been born. So he telling them in verse 8, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again, come back and tell me where he's at, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed. And lo, the star or the chariot, which they saw in the east, went before them. Now, it's not talking about no stars